Welcome back. As always, it is your friend Arachnid Soul coming to you today with something a little bit different. But before we get into that, I have to thank all of you for watching the last video I posted, the tribute to beautiful Bobby Eaton. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for all the stories you told about him. If you have not seen that, that video is available down below. Click that link. Let's get into it. It is tonight. It is AEW, All Elite Wrestling. It is AEW Rampage, their second TV show or a pay-per-view they're doing or who knows what. But the reason I'm making this video is because tonight, after going to that AEW pay-per-view that made me never want to watch AEW again, after trying to watch the next month's pay-per-view on TV and not even making it out of the pre-show, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night that I, for a final time, will try to sit down and watch AEW. I'm guessing this event is going to be 2 hours, and we're going to see how far I make it. Now, we do have some rules in play, the usual rules. Anything that I see with Kenny Mandela or the Orange Juice Kid, I will skip. I will also skip any type of foolishness, goofiness, or things that are not possible in the human universe. I'll skip any people who are not serious, who do not take professional wrestling serious. So I figure out of the 2 hours, I don't know. For the people out there that watch AEW, is that maybe 40 minutes? Hopefully at least 40 minutes of the show. Initially, I said that I would watch at least 5 minutes of each segment, which would come out to a half hour, I don't know, depending on how long the show is. But I'm going to give it a try, and I'm going to be open to it. I'm going to be open to it, and the reason that I'm watching tonight, despite the fact that AEW has not done TV commercials, they haven't tried to run anything during WWE commercial breaks on the WWE programming. We have not seen them mention it on their website. We have not seen them promote it anywhere. But AEW, the brilliant company that it is going to do what they did with Sting and not advertise him showing up. AEW, many people speculate, has signed CM Punk, who is one of the biggest names to come out of Ring of Honor or WWE over the past 20 years. A man whose name I understand they still chant at WWE events. A man I understand who kind of wanted to retire, but AEW's got so much money, they're going to buy all the toys so the owner can play. And tonight there's a good possibility that CM Punk will show up at AEW. Again, CM Punk is a main event guy. He's a guy that you would promote. The way that TNA promoted Sting, you would promote him as a big name weeks before he comes in, if not months if you knew that. He's not a mid-card guy where you just have him show up and everyone's surprised. So I don't understand AEW doing that, unless what AEW is going to do is bring him maybe to the pay-per-view and actually advertise him today to try to sell pay-per-view buys. We also know that American Dragon Bryan Danielson, many of you will know him as Daniel Bryan, one of the other top big-name stars to come out of Ring of Honor and WWE over the past 20 years. Another guy who they've not advertised at all. I understand that TNT, the actual network, has been upset with AEW for not putting out the information. Hey, guess who's going to be here tonight? This big star. So we will not be watching Kenny tonight. We will not be watching Orange Juice Cassidy tonight. We will not be watching, if he's still there, the guy who pulls baby oil out of his trunks to get out of rear waist locks and he squirts himself and then twerks his way out. Won't be watching him. The guy who likes to twerk on people's faces in the cheerleading outfit, we will not be watching him. If the guy shows up that has no legs, I have no problem with that. I wish him the best in life. Should he be a professional wrestler? No. And if he shows up tonight to wrestle, I will not be watching that. Who do I want to see tonight? I want to see guys go out there and have serious matches. I want to see guys like Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. I want to see guys like the current Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion Christian Cage. I want to see guys who go out there, take themselves seriously. Give me a good MJF interview and match. Let me see the Revival finally, because I've heard great things about them. If Chris Jericho can still go, let me see Chris Jericho. When I went to that AEW pay-per-view, okay, his conditioning was not great. He's a little bit older, but psychology-wise and what he was doing in the ring, he was one of the best people on the event. I understand that he has contracted that Bullet Club bubble disease in the interim since I've been watching, which means he's probably doing all sorts of goofy, stupid, outlandish, comical, nonsensical bullshit. But maybe not. Maybe he's still Lionheart Chris Jericho. Maybe he's still going out there. Maybe he still remembers he was the first undisputed champion in 100 years, and he defeated The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin the same night. Maybe he remembers competing in the very exclusive J-Cup tournament. And also maybe he remembers the man who trained him in a dungeon, in a basement in Calgary, Stu Hart. Either that, or he's just decided to go along with Kenneth Omega, Kenny Omaha, whatever you want to call him, Orange Juice Cassidy, the Orange Juice Kid, whatever you want to call him, and the rest of the goof-ups in this company. I understand that YouTube wants me to censor myself, so now I will. As I said, I will be watching AEW. I'll be watching it with as open a mind and as open a heart as I possibly can. I also wonder if the Young Bucks are going to come out because, like I always tell people, my only problem with the Young Bucks, nobody else seems to notice it, is that every time I watch them wrestle over the past, say, 10 years, maybe a little bit more, they have almost literally the exact same match every single time. It's amazing to me when I see them and haven't seen them wrestle in 4 years, and they come out and have the exact same match. It's a very athletic match. It's a very high-flying, high-paced match. At some point, I'm like, well, they're about 2/3 done, because I know they're getting close when one of them hits the X Factor in the ring, pulls himself out onto the ring skirt via the middle rope, and then moonsaults to the floor, sometimes hitting people, but about half the time not. It was kind of like Lita coming off the top rope back in the day with that moonsault. About 60% of the time she'd miss it, but the 40% of the time she hit it, it was okay. And then I will come back to you next time, and I will talk to you about what I thought about AEW. I'm excited to do that because I don't get too many opportunities to do reviews since I don't watch the product. And we're going to see, will AEW be able to make me, a pro wrestling fan, watch and sit through and finish watching whatever it is that they will be doing tonight that they will be calling pro wrestling? In front of a group of fans that'll be the first one to tell you they don't like pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is old. Pro wrestling is boring. But we're going to see what AEW does tonight. We're going to see what CM Punk does. I'm guessing that if CM Punk does show up, he will very shortly be involved probably with Cody Rhodes, because Cody seems to have a problem with anyone who shows up anywhere he's working who can draw any significant amount of money. Guys who show up who don't make much money, Cody doesn't seem to have a problem with. Anyway, we'll talk about all of this next time. As always, it has been your host, your friend, your buddy, your pal, your mate, Arachnid Soul, coming to you today. And I'll do a little dusty in honor of Cody before we go, if you will. And I will catch you next time, my friend. Like, comment, subscribe. Go watch that beautiful Bobby video. Later.